بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear Babul Ilm children. Welcome to episode 2 of Lessons from Karbala. Before we start, we're going to do our special story about the Yemeni cloak. As we know, and we talked before as well, whoever does this story in any gathering, in any majlis, even a party or a wedding, anything, Allah sends so many blessings and He takes away all the sickness, all the illness, and all the bad things away from the people who recite it. So, are we ready to hear the story of the Yemeni blanket? Yes? Okay. The Holy Prophet ﷺ one day knocked on the door of his daughter Bibi Fatima. Bibi Fatima opened the door and she said, Assalamu alayka ya abata ya Rasulullah. And the Prophet said, Wa alaykum salam, my dear daughter. I'm not feeling very well today. Can you bring for me the special Yemeni cloak so that I can rest? And she said, Of course I can, father. So Bibi Fatima takes a special Yemeni cloak and she covers her father with it, and he rests for a little while. What happens next? Suddenly there is a knock on the door. And who was it? It was Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Imam Hassan says, Assalamu alayki ya ummi, Assalamu alaykum my mother. And she says, Wa alaykum salam ya qurrata aini, oh the apple of my eyes, Wa alaykum salam. And he says, wow, I smell a beautiful smell. Is this the smell of my grandfather, the Holy Prophet? And she says, yes, he is resting in the room next door under the special Yemeni blanket. So Imam Hassan goes to that room and he says, Assalamu alayka ya Jadda. And the Holy Prophet says, Wa alaykum salam, O Hassan. Can I join you in the blanket, O my dear grandfather? And the Prophet says, yes, of course you can. So Imam Hassan joins the Holy Prophet inside the special Yemeni blanket. After a little while, there is a knock on the door again. Who was it this time? Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Assalamu alayki ya ummi, wa alaykum salam ya qurrata ain. That's a beautiful smell I smell. Is that my grandfather, the Holy Prophet? And Fatima says, yes, it is. He's in the room resting under the special Yemeni cloak with your brother Hassan. So Imam Hussein goes to the Holy Prophet. Assalamu alayka ya Jadda ya Rasulullah. And the Holy Prophet says, Wa alaykum salam. He says, can I join you in the Yemeni blanket? Of course you can. And Imam Hussein joins Imam Hassan and the Holy Prophet under the special Yemeni blanket. Soon after, there's another knock on the door. And this time it was Imam Ali alayhi salam. Said, Assalamu alayki ya binta Rasulillah. Assalamu alaykum, O daughter of the Prophet. Says, Wa alaykum salam ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. And Imam Ali says, I smell a beautiful smell. Is that the smell of my cousin and my Prophet Muhammad? And Bibi Fatima says, yes. He is in the room next door with your sons, Hassan and Hussein. And so Imam Ali goes to the Holy Prophet and he says, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. And the Prophet replies, Wa alaykum salam ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. And Imam Ali says, can I please join you under the Yemeni blanket? And the Prophet says, yes, of course you can. So Imam Ali joins them under the special blanket. Soon Bibi Fatima comes into the room too. And she says, Assalamu alayka ya abata. Can I also join inside the blanket? And the Prophet says, of course you can, my dear daughter. And Bibi Fatima joins them under the special blanket. Now there are 5 special people under the Yemeni blanket. And who are these 5 people? They are the 5 Panjatan, right? So we have Prophet Muhammad, we have Imam Ali, we have Bibi Fatima, we have Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Soon Angel Jibreel asks Allah, who are these 5 people? And Allah says this is Fatima, her father, her husband, and her 2 sons. And then Angel Jibreel asks Allah for permission if he can go and join the 5 Panjatan. And Allah grants him permission. Angel Jibreel comes to them and he says, Allah has made you pure with a special purification, and Allah has created the whole world in your love. And he said, Imam Ali then says, whoever says this story in any gathering, there will be nothing but blessings that will come down to them. Did you enjoy the story of the 5 Panjatan? Yes, it was lovely, wasn't it? It really was. Can we recite a salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil faraja. Thank you all for listening to the story such a lovely way. I'm so proud of all of you. Now we're going to start our session. Are we all ready? Yes? Do you want to find out what lesson from Karbala we're learning today? Yes? Yes. Okay. So let us start. So the first thing we're going to do before we start is we are going to send our salam to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Are we ready to do that together? Yes? Assalamu ala al-Hussein wa ala Ali ibn al-Hussein wa ala awlad al-Hussein wa ala ashab al-Hussein. We're going to start first with seeing all those who did the activity last week. So if you sent your picture, look for it.
Husseini, Husseini, we are Abbasi and Zainabi, we are Husseini, 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 we are Abbasi and Zainabi, we are Husseini, 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 we are Abbasi and Zainabi, we are Husseini, 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 we are Abbasi and Zaini, Husseini, Husseini, we are Abbasi and Zainabi, we are Husseini, 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 we are Abbasi and Zainabi.
Now we're going to listen to a marcia from one of you.
This may be small, but listen to our call. Come and join in a pain for our beloved Hussein. Our voices may be small, but listen to our call. Come and join in a pain for our beloved Hussein. Hussein, Hussein is the one, the well and paid the son, the rose of Fatima. Gave his life for Allah, boys stood on one end, asking for his hand. Let war short at my head, I'd rather be dead. Our voices may be small, but listen to our call. Come and join in our pain for our beloved Hussein. Our voices may be small, but listen to our call. Come and join in our pain for our beloved Hussein. Hussein, he takes his family away from the city, away from politics and all the dirty tricks. They chased him down, you see, and his men 70 took them to Karbala to make them shuhada. Our voices may be small, but listen to our call. Come and join in our pain for our beloved Hussein.
Thank you so much for that lovely marcia. It was very heart-wrenching. Thank you. So last week, we talked about loyalty, right? And that is what we learned from Karbala, from Hazrat Abbas, and from all the companions who were with Imam Hussein alayhi salam, right? They were by his side no matter what, right? And we want to be just as loyal to the Imam of our time as well, don't we? Yes, we do. So today, the other lesson that we are going to learn from Karbala is forgiveness. Okay, what is forgiveness? Do you know what forgiveness is? If someone hurts you, for example, or does something that isn't very nice, and then they say they're sorry. So what do? You forgive them, right? And you tell them that it's okay. Sometimes people say, no, it's not okay. What you did to me was not okay, right? But we learn from our imams that we must forgive, okay? So, for example, if you have an argument with somebody or you make someone upset, it could be your siblings, it could be a friend, it could be your parents, it could be anybody. What's the right thing to do if you make someone upset? To forgive them. If you make someone upset, then you need to ask for forgiveness, right? You tell them you are sorry for what you have done and you apologize for your mistake, okay? So we also get hurt, don't we? We shout, we say things that are hurtful to other people, and we especially do that to the people we live with, right? We get upset with our brothers and sisters. We can say things that can be really hurtful, right? And things that sometimes we don't mean, but they come out when we are angry or we're really upset. And that does happen. So the right thing to do is to take a deep breath, to calm down, okay? And then you go and ask the person to forgive you. And you tell them, I'm really sorry for what I said. I'm really sorry for what I did. If you hit them, for example, right? Or you can fight, because I know people have a lot of fights, especially when they're little. You ask that person to forgive you, okay? And if somebody does that to you and they come to you and say, I'm sorry, yeah, we try and have a big heart and forgive them and tell them it's okay, all right? And who do we learn this from? Who do we learn how to forgive from? Imam Hussein in Karbala, right? So we're gonna see what happened in Karbala. Are we ready? Yes? Okay. So we know the story about how Imam ended up in Karbala. We're going to go through that today, okay? All right, can you put the next slide, please? All right, so Yazid, when he came to power, he demanded that he needs to get bay'at from Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So he sent a letter to Walid in Medina. Walid called Imam at night and told him, look, this is the instructions that I have been given. I need to get bay'at from you for Yazid. Imam Hussein said, how can a man like me give bay'at to a man like Yazid? So Imam Hussein took his family and his companions and he left Medina that night because he knew that now Yazid is going to look for him and he's going to try and kill him. Imam Hussein reached Medina and Yazid found out. Yazid sent a whole army of men to Makkah to follow Imam. When Imam Hussein found out that Yazid's men were present in Makkah, he couldn't stay there anymore. He didn't want any war to take place near the Kaaba. So people asked him, oh Imam, where are you going to go? So Imam said, I have decided to go to Kufa. Why did Imam decide to go to Kufa? Because all the people of Kufa had written so many letters to him, telling him, oh Imam, please come to us. We want you. We'll take care of you. Please, thousands and thousands of letters. So Imam sent his cousin, Muslim ibn Aqil, beforehand to check if truly the people of Kufa wanted him to be there. And then Imam started his journey towards Kufa. As Imam Hussein left Makkah, he received the sad news that his cousin, Muslim ibn Aqil, who he had sent to Kufa, had passed away. Now this happened because Yazid sent Ibn Ziyad, horrible, horrible man, to Kufa to scare all the people. And he told them that if you follow Muslim ibn Aqil, if you are a lover of Imam Hussein, we will make sure that we will kill all of you. So all the people of Kufa turned their backs on Imam because they got scared. So they said, no, 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 we're not going to die. And so Muslim ibn Aqil was killed. Now when Imam reached a certain place, he got news about Muslim ibn Aqil's death. This place was called Dhu Hassam. And in this very place, a man called Hurr came with an army of 1,000 people, and he stopped Imam Hussein. He told Imam Hussein, I'm very thirsty. My people are very thirsty. Our horses are very thirsty. Imam knew who Hurr was, but did he tell him, no, I'm not going to give you water? No, Imam said, give water to all of them. He told his people, make sure you even give their horses water too. So once their thirst was quenched, Hurr told Imam Hussein that I cannot let you go anywhere. You can come to Kufa with me to Ibn Ziyad. Imam Hussein said, I'm not coming to Kufa to Ibn Ziyad with you. I got so many letters from the people of Kufa inviting me to them. Hurr said, I don't know about these letters. I have been told that I have to take you to Ibn Ziyad. Imam said, let me go to Medina. But Hurr said, no, I cannot let you go to Medina also. Then they decided that they will just walk together until they reach a place which is not Kufa or Medina. On the 2nd of Muharram, Imam Hussein and his companions reached a land called Karbala. Imam Hussein bought the whole land and he set up his tents. Hurr and his people set up their tents not too far away from Imam Hussein. On the night of Ashura, Hurr became very, very restless. He never really thought that the army of Yazid would actually kill Imam Hussein. Now he had to decide between hell or heaven. If he stayed in Yazid's army, he would go to hell. If he went to Imam Hussein's army and Imam forgave him, he could go to heaven. So what did Hurr do? Hurr, his son, and his slave rode to the camps of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And Hurr fell onto the feet of Imam Hussein and begged Imam for forgiveness. Now remember, Hurr is the one who stopped Imam Hussein. He is the one who made Imam Hussein come to Karbala. So now what do you think? What would happen if we were in this situation? Would we forgive Hurr? Or would we get really upset at Hurr and blame him for everything that happened? Right? What did Imam Hussein do? He said, Hurr, I forgive you. And my grandfather, the Holy Prophet, has also forgiven you. You are free. You are free in this world and you're free in the hereafter. On the day of Ashura, Hurr went to Imam Hussein and said, please, Imam, I want to be the first one to fight. And Imam said, how can I make you fight, Hurr? You are my guest. How can I let you die for me? Do you see how beautiful the akhlaq of the Imams were? How kind and loving they were, right? Hurr said, please, my Imam, it will be my honor to fight. And so Hurr went into the battlefield and he fought so bravely until he passed away. Hurr then was put on the lap of Imam Hussein, and Imam Hussein made a prayer and he said, oh Allah, I commend to you this brave man who has given his life for Islam. Do you see how wonderful that was? Right? Forgiveness is such an important thing. Right? Imam Hussein forgave Hurr for such a big thing that he did. Right? We must remember that Imam Hussein is so kind and so loving, and he is teaching us how to behave, how to be with others in our life, right? What about us? We make so many mistakes, don't we? Right? We always do things that make Allah sad, right? Sometimes we lie, sometimes we talk about other people behind their backs, sometimes we don't pray, right? We do things that would make Allah sad, right? And then we ask Allah to forgive us, right? So Allah is so Rahman, He's so merciful. He will forgive us when we ask Him for forgiveness. Therefore, we too should have big hearts, and we too should forgive others when they come to ask us for forgiveness, or when they come to apologize for any mistakes that they have made. And if you make a mistake, make sure that you apologize too. All right? And even when you do something that you know has made Allah sad, you ask Allah for forgiveness as well. All right. So today's lesson is all about forgiveness. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is listen to a reflection from some of you and then go on to our activity.
Salamun alaikum, teacher Amina. I learned in Karbala from Hurr, when you do a mistake, you should say sorry and ask for forgiveness and never repeat the bad thing again and do good deeds. Salam alaikum, Imam Hussein. Saved Islam.
Thank you so much for that lovely reflection. Yes, we learned to say sorry from her. And today's activity is all about that. Okay, so you're going to need your two colors of paper, red one and a white one. Okay, and we're going to put the white one at the bottom. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our red paper. Okay, and we're going to fold it. Okay, and we're going to cut it into two hearts. We need two hearts, okay? We ready? Yeah? So you're gonna take your scissors. I folded it to make two hearts that are exactly the same. Okay, so I've folded it to a quarter like that. We're gonna cut a big heart. Okay, make it big, okay? Yeah, just cut a half heart. So you're gonna cut just a half a heart this way, okay? But cut on the side that is folded, not open, okay? And make it big. Start from here and make it big all the way. Yeah. We need a big heart because we're going to write in it, okay? So it needs to have space. All right. Well done. Okay, so now you're going to have two hearts that are exactly the same size, all right? So now here is the tricky part, okay? What we're going to do now is you're going to take your two hearts and you're going to glue them together this way. So you have one heart on this side and you have one heart on this side. So you're going to glue this to this. Okay, so get your glue stick and let's put some glue on one side and stick it together. So we're gonna put glue on this one side of the heart only. Okay, make sure you put enough glue so that it doesn't open up. And now we're going to stick it together. Okay, so we've stuck them together. So it looks a little bit like this, right? Yeah, so it looks like this, okay? That's the two pieces that we've stuck together. That's what it's like. Now what we're going to do is take your white paper and you're going to take this part and stick it down in the center of your paper. So it's going to look something like this, okay? Like that, right in the center, okay? You're gonna glue it. Put enough glue so that it can stick properly. So we're gonna stick that down in the center. That's what it looks like. Okay, so now we have a heart. Then we have this flappy bit here, and then we have another heart. Okay, so the heart is divided into two like that. So now what we're going to do is on this side, I want you to write, take any color marker that you like. Okay, choose whichever colors you like. And we are going to write down some of the things that we do that can hurt other people. Okay, so it can be lying, it can be hitting, it can be gossiping, right? Okay, so I want you to think of around 4 or 5 things, and we're just going to write them all around the paper. I'm going to show you what we're doing here, okay? So we're going to write the actual things. Just write one things, right? So we're going to put things like lying, yeah, gossip. So just put gossip, and then we have, wait, let me write another one here. So I write one and you write one, okay? So we have lying, okay? What else are you gonna put down there? Hurting others, Hurting others, like their feelings?
Yeah.
Right? Yes, hurting others' feelings. What else do we do that we can upset others with? Hitting? Yeah. Hitting. What about ignoring? That's a big one, isn't it? If you ignore others, you can hurt their feelings, right? Yes. What else? Let's think of one more thing. Ignoring, hitting, hurting others, lying, gossiping. What about bullying? Yeah? Bullying is mean, isn't it? And bullying. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. Okay? So once you've got your things written down, okay, what we're going to do now is on this side, it's going to be like a cover, okay? And we are going to write forgiveness over here, okay? A nice, beautiful handwriting. Or you can just write forgive. I don't think forgiveness is gonna fit. Forgive is perfect, okay? So what is this activity about? Okay, sometimes people will do these things to us. All right, sometimes people will hurt our feelings. Sometimes people will be mean to us. Sometimes people will bully us, right? Sometimes people will ignore us. We must learn to forgive. The way Imam Hussein forgave her, even I will learn how to forgive others. And if I do any of these things to anybody else, then I will ask for forgiveness. Okay? Because I want to also be like her and do the right thing. Okay? So this is today's lesson. What you can do is also around the paper, write down that this is a lesson I have learned from Karbala. Okay? Send in your pictures so that I can put it in next week's video. Let us try and practice these lessons that we are learning from Karbala. Okay, so that we can make Imam Hussein proud, so that we can make the Imam of our time, Imam Mahdi, proud with us. Okay, inshallah. And we will see you in next week's video, inshallah. Take care, everybody. Khuda Hafiz.